I stopped writing 3 months ago. This isn't the first time I've stopped writing, but it's a bit different this time. Sure, there are similarities. Once again, I kept telling myself, I'll write tomorrow. After all, tomorrow is only a day away, and I just need to feel ready. But then tomorrow became at the start of next week, then next month, until gradually I stopped thinking of writing altogether. I didn't even notice I'd stopped until I felt the urge to write again. Unsurprisingly, I had another depression spiral. I don't want to talk about it. It happened, and I have a new therapist, but it's too early to tell if we fit. Then there's this YouTube channel. Originally, I'd hoped it'd keep me accountable. Instead, I find myself prioritizing it whenever I work on a video. See, I can't focus on writing while also YouTubing. It can't be done. No, I need to wait until I'm done before I can write a word. According to my second brother, working on my YouTube channel is a really creative form of writing procrastination. He's not wrong. Ironically, the only times this didn't happen was when I was editing my Atomic Habits video and using the 2-minute rule to keep writing since I didn't feel like I had the energy or the time. I did end up deleting everything I wrote, but I was writing. I'm also struggling with figuring out how to start my story. Originally, I planned to open in the past, then have a time jump. My protagonist, Harriet, would overhear her fiancé talking smack about her, get into her carriage, realize her maid was ordered to kill her, and run for her life. Then it became Harriet's at a party where she's isolated, and while alone, her maid tries to kill her. So she runs and meets Monty, who's also facing an assassination attempt. Eventually, I decided to save this for a flashback and start the story in present day when she learns her half-sister is pregnant. But I don't know. I'm stuck because I want the first chapter to end with the cliffhanger of her realizing she's reincarnated into a book, which happens in present day. But I also really want to write about her meeting Monty when they're kids. Then there's the Monty problem, but more on him later. None of these are the reason I stopped writing this time. They didn't help, but they weren't the reason. No. The reason I stopped writing has to do with a bad habit I didn't even realize I had. At least, I've never truly acknowledged it as a problem. When I read, I try to finish as fast as possible. Sometimes, I skim. I'm not sure when this started, but it can be overwhelming when I think of the sheer unending stories I want to read. I know I can't read them all, but I'm trying, and this has leaked into my writing. When I write, I notice myself rushing to get each scene done as fast as possible. I don't flesh out what's happening. It's very bare bones and rushed, and I get that I want to finish writing as a story as soon as possible, that I have other stories I want to write, but why am I in such a rush? I mean, like I said, I get it, but it's hurting my story, and it's a real problem. So I've been trying to slow down, just take my time. I feel like I'm fighting myself, but there is progress. Now, when I read, I make sure to read every word. It's unpleasant, but I am reading each word, and it has become easier with time. But it's not just reading and writing I rush through. It's also video games, especially visual novels. When I play, I get really locked in, and I try to beat the game as fast as possible. I will focus only on playing until I either pass out, lose interest, or beat the game. I wish I did not have so many bad habits, but you know, I do, and now I have to deal with them. This hasn't really been an issue since 2023. I thought I lost interest in these types of games, but this year, Tokyo Games released the 100-line Last Defense Academy. I didn't know anything about this game. I bought it because I buy all their games, minus Tribe 9, because that's not on Switch. I just really like Kotaro Uchikoshi, especially his Zero Escape series and the first AI, the Somnium Files, and Kuzutaka Kodaka, mostly for the first 2 Danganronpa games. I recently beat Final Fantasy 1 through 5, so I was feeling pretty burnt out on JRPGs, so when the 100 line arrived, it felt like perfect timing, and the day I started playing this game was the day I stopped writing. Forgive me, but I need to take a moment and talk about this game. The 100 line is about a group of teens who wake up in an abandoned school. They're told they need to defend the school from invaders for 100 days. I locked in and I did nothing but play this game and go to work for around the week or so, and I finally reached day 100, so excited, only to discover I had just beat the first scenario. There was a second one where I go back and redo the 100 days, but this time there are choices that branch off into 20 routes with a total of 100 endings. I tried finishing as fast as possible, as usual, but you can't do that with this game. game. It's too long. So many routes ended up being the full 100 days. Eventually, I realized I needed to pace myself because this was an endurance match. I have never played a game that was so long, so ambitious, so fun, and so tedious. I learned about myself, about life, about choices, and yes, not every route is equal. Some could have been cut or trimmed, others explored more. Same with the endings, though ending 1 continues to be my favorite, and I highly recommend checking this game out if you're interested and have the time. But playing this game changed me because I wanted to beat it. I had to figure out how to play it without harming myself. I could not rush through this game, so I started only playing it during the weekends, making sure not to stay up late. Even when I could feel my endurance waning, myself burning out, I managed to keep going, and I beat it after 2.5 months. I learned I can schedule my time better. I don't need to stay up late and push myself to finish something. I can stay interested even when my interest wanes or I take a break. If writing is also an endurance match, I can do it. I actually believe I can now. And I don't know if it's because of this experience, but I feel like my way of thinking has changed. Thanks to my last 2 YouTube videos, I've started noticing this channel is benefiting me. It's really helped me get out of my head and really figure out my story's world and protagonist, as well as my biases and just things I've avoided acknowledging existing, like my bad habit. It's also helped me become better at editing, which I did not expect. I'm much more comfortable revising now than I was when I started this channel, and I believe I've become a better writer as a result. And hey, this channel hasn't given me the accountability I hoped it would, but now that I have 24 subscribers, thank you very much, maybe that will change. As for my story, I feel like I have a better sense of Harriet and the world, but while I know how I want the story to end, the middle is vague. I know I need to work more on the plot and the side characters, and then there's the character of Monty. He's blocking me. I know he's important. He's the reason why Harriet doesn't die when she's 10. He's the crown prince of the kingdom, and he's engaged to the original protagonist of the book Harriet reincarnated into, but he doesn't actually do anything until the end. I don't know what to do with him. I'm seriously tempted to put him in a coma for most of the story and just not worry about it. And after my race video, I found myself wondering, would Harriet be grateful to him for saving her life if it meant she couldn't continue glimpsing her past life? Would she really not resent him for that? I don't think she would forgive him. And maybe that could be an interesting direction to take, but that would completely change her motivation, which again could be interesting, but there's a problem. Monty's fiance is a yandere. For those who don't know, a yandere is someone who has excessive love towards their partner to the point they become mentally ill. They often express extreme jealousy, possessiveness, and when stimulated, harmful or murderous behavior. I love yanderes, so it's no wonder that love leaked into my story. One of the reasons I decided not to make Monty Harriet's love interest, besides their complete lack of chemistry, is because Monty's fiance would kill her, or at least ruin her life. Fiance's more yandere light, and if Harriet reveals any resentment towards Monty in front of his fiance, well, she's not going to have a good ending. So I need to either completely rework the fiance character, changing my story, or figure out how to make Harriet not resent Monty, or at least find a way to move past that resentment. One of these choices seems a lot easier than the other, so I would like to first try ironing out Monty and Harriet's past more, make it make sense. Still don't know what to do with Monty in present day though. That coma looks real appealing, but I'll keep brainstorming in the meanwhile. I have less than 5 months until my January 1st deadline. I have no confidence I'll have anything worth posting by then, but there has to be accountability. So I'm giving myself an out. If I spend the next few months writing and brainstorming, I will see what I have in December and reevaluate if I want to push back this deadline. But if I stop writing again, I will shame myself and post what I have. I just want to stop waiting for tomorrow and actually do it. If I'm working towards creating a backlog so I can post more consistently, that's one thing. But if I'm not doing anything, just dreaming, then I want to give myself a push to post. Get that done and realize that tomorrow is today. So I'm giving myself a small goal to work towards. I really like this channel, and since I know I get focused when working on videos, especially when editing, and I know the 2-minute rule helps me keep writing even when I don't feel like it, I aim to create a workflow where I write, and when I'm working on a video, I'll do the 2-minute rule. Then when I'm done, I'll focus on writing again. And hopefully I won't end up deleting everything I write this time, because I'll have a better foundation. In the meanwhile, I've started listening to Another Day in Paradise by Joyner and Cat vs. Cat again, getting back into the right mind space for my story. I can feel resistance, but it's getting better every day, I've actually started thinking about my story again, just like randomly. It's nice. I've decided to put a pin in writing my first chapter. I'm going to write how Harriet meets Monty first, see how it goes, and get a better sense of their relationship. I want to try slowing myself down and really focusing on writing a scene or a chapter, then rewrite it until I find it passable and move on to the next one. See if writing that way works better for me. Because while I love the idea of just writing and worrying about editing in my second draft, it has not worked well for me. And now that I enjoy editing, I'm actually pretty excited to try. If all goes well, I'll post another update video in September. Be sure to subscribe to find out. Bye!